Welcome back to Vibe Vision, the channel where classic automotive heritage meets modern-day passion. Today we're diving into a true blend of nostalgia and innovation, the 1950 Ford F-1 Restomod. This truck embodies the rugged charm of early American pickups, but with a twist. It's been completely reimagined for modern performance, comfort, and style. What once was a humble workhorse has become a statement piece. A perfect example of how old-school craftsmanship can merge seamlessly with new-age technology. Let's start with the exterior, because that's where this truck first commands your attention. The 1950 Ford F-1 was already an icon in its original form. Broad fenders, that bold front grille, and the unmistakable Ford lettering stamped proudly across the hood. In Restomod form, it keeps all those nostalgic details intact, but with a sharper, more aggressive attitude. The body has been meticulously restored panel by panel, often with hand-shaped steel to ensure every curve remains faithful to the original silhouette. The paint job is nothing short of breathtaking, a deep metallic tone that reflects light like liquid glass, showcasing the perfect blend of vintage lines and modern precision. Many Restomod builders opt for subtle custom touches, and this one is no exception. You might see a shaved door handle set up for a cleaner look, hidden hinges, and a smooth tailgate that gives the rear end a seamless flow. Chrome accents glisten just enough to maintain that vintage sparkle without overpowering the design. The front grille, often custom machined or powder-coated, preserves the classic Ford F-1 face but adds a more refined edge. It's a beautiful balance. Part museum piece, part street machine. Moving down to the stance and wheels, this is where the Restomod philosophy shines through. Gone are the small steel wheels and narrow tires from the 1950s. Instead, you'll find wide alloy wheels, sometimes in brushed aluminum or gloss black, wrapped in performance rubber that fills those fenders just right. The lowered stance achieved through modern suspension components gives the F-1 a planted and purposeful look, whether it's sitting on an upgraded independent front suspension or even a coilover setup. The result is a truck that looks ready to dominate both a car show and a mountain road. You can't talk about a Restomod without discussing the performance underneath. Pop that hood and you'll see the heart of the transformation. The original flathead V8 has likely been swapped out for something far more powerful and reliable, often a modern Ford Coyote 5.0-liter V8, or in some builds a small block crate engine tuned to deliver over 400 horsepower. With modern fuel injection, performance headers, and a custom exhaust system, this F-1 doesn't just look mean, it sounds like thunder rolling across an open plain. The rumble from the exhaust has that deep, muscular tone that turns heads before the truck even comes into view. Backing that engine is usually a modern automatic or manual transmission, giving the driver crisp and responsive gear changes. Gone are the days of sluggish shifts and vague clutch feel. Today's Restomods deliver precision driving experiences. Combine that with a modern differential, disc brakes on all four corners, and power steering, and you've got a 1950 Ford that drives like a 2025 performance vehicle. The suspension and handling are a huge part of what makes this Restomod special. The old leaf spring setup has often been replaced with independent suspension up front and a 4-link system in the rear, tuned for both comfort and cornering stability. You can feel the engineering refinement when this truck glides over bumps with confidence and hugs corners with balance. The steering is tight and direct, offering the kind of control that early F-1 owners could only dream of. It's an entirely different experience, one that merges muscle and finesse perfectly. Acceleration in this truck is impressive. The power-to-weight ratio, combined with modern tuning, gives it a surprisingly quick launch. Press the throttle, and you'll feel the surge of torque pull the truck forward with authority. It's not just fast for a classic, and it's genuinely exhilarating by modern standards. This is where the Restomod concept comes alive. The spirit of 1950, but the power of today. Now, let's step inside for a quick look at the interior, because this is where many builders show off their creativity. The cabin of a 1950 Ford F-1 was originally very basic. Metal dash, vinyl bench seat, and minimal instrumentation. In a Restomod, that simplicity gets upgraded into luxury without losing character. You'll usually find custom leather upholstery, with contrast stitching that complements the truck's exterior color. The bench seat might be replaced by bucket seats, but even if the builder keeps the bench design, it's reworked for comfort, using high-density foam and modern materials. The dashboard typically combines vintage aesthetics with modern functionality. Original style gauges might be replaced by digital readouts housed in retro-style clusters. You'll often find a custom steering wheel, sometimes billet aluminum, sometimes wrapped in leather, giving the driver a perfect tactile feel. Air conditioning, power windows, Bluetooth audio, and hidden speakers bring modern convenience into this nostalgic space. Yet, despite all the tech, the cabin still feels like a classic Ford truck, raw, purposeful, and deeply connected to its roots. What's remarkable about the 1950 Ford F-1 Restomod is how it bridges generations. For older enthusiasts, it's a time machine, bringing back the memories of when these trucks ruled farms, job sites, and backroads. For younger fans, it's an example of how timeless design can evolve without losing soul. It's not just restored, it's reimagined. Every nut, bolt, and weld tells a story of preserving history while embracing progress. When you look at this truck from a distance, it radiates attitude. Up close, it reveals craftsmanship. Under the hood, it speaks power, and behind the wheel, it delivers emotion. That's what makes a Restomod like this so special. It's not about perfection, it's about passion. Every builder who takes on a project like this knows they're not just restoring metal. They're resurrecting a piece of American heritage and giving it a second life. For driving enthusiasts, the F-1 Restomod offers something few vehicles can: the visceral connection of a classic with the reliability and excitement of modern performance. It's comfortable enough for daily cruising, but powerful enough to make every drive unforgettable. Whether it's idling smoothly at a car meet or roaring down a highway, it has presence. The kind of presence that demands respect from anyone who appreciates fine machinery. The 1950 Ford F-1 Restomod is more than a truck. It's a conversation between generations, a blend of artistry and engineering, and a reminder that great design never truly goes out of style. Its legacy is built not just on horsepower or aesthetics, but on emotion. The feeling of driving something that honors the past while looking straight into the future. Thanks for tuning in to Vibe Vision. If you love machines that carry history in their steel and soul in their sound, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay connected. Because here, every classic has a story, and every story deserves to be told.